Hey, welcome back. This is Dr. Zom, and it's another episode of Miniature Monday. Today it's going to be a little weird. I'm going to show you how to make a wet palette. Now, if you don't know what a wet palette is, it's just a tool used it's a tool used to keep your paints wet while you're painting a miniature. You can get a piece of plastic and use that for a palette, and you always notice that when you put the paint on it, you add water to it to thin it down so it doesn't obscure details. That, well, after a while the paint dries up real fast, and so it kind of sucks, especially if you're mixing maybe like a custom color, a mixture of like 2 or 3 different paints, and it dries up on you. It's annoying. And some people prefer just the paint straight out of the pot. I don't. It just, the paint goes on globby on a miniature. It obscures detail, and a wet palette usually is the way to go. There's another method, but I'm not going to get into that just now. But wet palettes are expensive. Well, for the most part, I mean, it's $25 for the most part. So I'm going to show you how to make one using stuff from a dollar store, and it's going to be basically under a couple bucks. You could even get away with doing it pretty close to free. You might have this stuff lying around the house. So the first thing you need is a container. Now, for this particular one, I chose this. I got it at the Dollar Tree, paid $1, and the reason I went for this is because it has a rubber seal inside of it. So you want something that's airtight. Okay, and so I got that. If you want to go more fancy, I picked this up. It's just a waterproof phone case, and I got this from a Salvation Army. It's like a Goodwill, or it's a secondhand store, and it has a seal in it too. And the cool thing about this one is it's a lot skinnier. But I'm showing you how to do this on a budget, so I'm gonna go back to the other one. And if you really want to go on a budget, we have the lunch meat containers. You buy a package of lunch meat, and it has the containers that are kind of similar to this, except cheaper. They don't have the nice snap closed lids and rubber seal and all that stuff. You can get those. Those work just fine. And that's, you're basically, recycling for the most part. Okay. Another thing that you want to get is parchment paper. Make sure it's parchment paper, not wax paper. Okay? Big difference, because wax paper, it's not going to let any moisture through it. So, yeah, you just get a roll of that. I got this roll at the Dollar Tree, but, just check the wife's or mother, depending on the age group of my demographic here. Check the kitchen. You see if you have any parchment paper. If you don't, go to the Dollar Tree, pick up a roll for $1, and you'll be glad you did. There's lots of more other uses for this, not just for this. So it's handy stuff to have around. So we got our parchment paper, we got our container, and now we have handy chamois. It's basically just a chamois. Dollar Tree has these, $1, of course. It's handy otherwise too. But also, if you don't want this, or you don't have a Dollar Tree near you, get some paper towels. Fold up some paper towels and cut them to like the width of this, and you'll be fine. If you're super, super, super low cash, just get some like McDonald's napkins. You don't have to go fancy with this. The key to this video is showing you how to make one for a very low cost. So you take this, you put it on the bottom, you place it here, you get a pin, you go around, mark the edges, cut it out. So you have one of these, okay? See, pin marks. Do the same thing with the parchment paper. And then you do this. You put that in there like this. Paper towels or the chamois on the bottom. Okay? Then we have this, the parchment paper goes up on the top. Okay. And then you just add some agua. Now, the cool thing about the chamois as opposed to the paper towels is the chamois is way better at absorbing moisture. So, and yeah, just put it in there, make sure it stays in there, and you're golden. Okay, so then what you do is, if you get paint, you dip a little bit in there, you mix it or what have you, and basically yeah, that's it. It stays wet on this palette. You're not gonna have your paints dry up on you. Okay, that's cool stuff. And the reason why I went for the airtight lid, the rubber seal, is because, I mean, this can stay good like this for days, you know. And I put a bit more water in there than probably. You just want pretty damp. You're gonna have to experiment to see how much moisture you want in there. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. If you're not a type of person that uses a wet palette to paint miniatures or just paint in general, then this is probably a colossal waste of time for you. But yeah, if you do, and this was something you want to get into, and you want to experiment with a different style of painting without dropping, it's like $15 to $25, and then they have like the refill kits for them. They're like $11 for a refill kit for a wet palette. Nah, you can skip all that and then just get this. Put this together, see if it's your style. If it's not, then you're like, hey, I tried it, wasn't for me. So I hope this helped you out. Hope this saved you some money. That's the point of all this is, you learn from my mistakes, not your mistakes. It's always better to learn from other people's mistakes than your own. But, if you have a mistake, learn from it. It's called life. Anyway, thank you for watching, and just thank you for your support. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you didn't like the video. And subscribe. Once a week, I'm just going to try to crank out videos. So, take care.